Hey, the tools you're going to need to install the Polaris RZR 4-door kit are a 3/8 ratchet, 9/16 socket and wrench, 1/2" socket and wrench, 7/16 socket and wrench, a 5/32 Allen wrench, 3/16 Allen, 5/16 Allen, and a T27 Torx bit. Hey, congratulations on your purchase of the RZR 4-door kit. Let's get this installation started. First thing you want to do is open up your box, get everything laid out so you understand what's going on here. These come partially unassembled for packaging purposes, and we got some work to do. Not much. So, your doors are going to come in 2 boxes, one for the left, one for the right. We're going to install the passenger side today. All right, when you have your box open, what you want to do is you reach in and gently pull the skins out, the door skins out, because they're not installed on the doors right now. We'll pull them out gently and we'll set them aside for later. It's going to be one of the last steps we do is to install the door. All right, after you've got your skins laid out of the way, safe, just reach in the box and grab your doors. They come straight up and out. After we remove the plastic, go ahead and lay the door on its face. You'll know that's the way it is because your brackets will all be facing towards you. Now that your doors are unpacked, the very next step, we're going to install this L bracket. It installs with 2 countersunk bolts, the only 2 in the package. All right, very important that this L bracket installs towards the rear door. All right, with the opening just like I'm holding it, boom. The bracket on the B-pillar mount already has weld nuts on it, so we'll install. All right, the next step in the installation of our 4 doors is to remove this bar. T27 Torx on the bottom here. And the factory nut at the top. And just lift. Done. The next step in the process, we're going to install the rear latch strike pin. That installs with 1/4 20 by 3/4 grade 8 bolt here. A washer on the bolt side and the nut side. That installs right here to the face and the stock holes from the safety bar. Alright, this one you want to just tighten it up enough so you can still slide it back and forth. Not too loose, but enough so we have some adjustability at the end. That. Next we're going to move straight on to the nut clip for the lower L bracket that we installed earlier. And that installs just top down, nut inside. Alright, the next thing we want to do is, this is kind of an important step. Before we remove the factory bolts from the A-pillar mounts, we want to put a strap on it because the factory cage has a tendency to spring, and that'll make it real difficult for us to put our cage in later. This is kind of a safety precaution to keep everything in line while we're working here. So strap it nice and tight, and then we can remove the factory hardware from the A-pillar mounts. Next, we're going to install our A-pillar latch pin bracket. We need to install the latch pin itself on the bracket. So we take our 5/16 by 2 bolt up through the bottom, we'll know that it's the bottom or the bottom or top. The bottom will have a sticker indicating passenger or driver. Barrel over the top of that. Nut on top, just hand tight for now. Next thing we're going to do is install the A-pillar bracket on the A-pillar itself. Use the 3/8 bolts, or the 3/8 bolts that are in the kit. It's the only ones that are in there, so hard to mess up with. Pin up, orientation to the outside, and I have to give it some love to get it on there. Everything's a little different about that. Washers on both sides. If your hands are soft, don't do that. Alright, now that your pillar mounts are installed, this is the time when you grab a buddy, a friend, whatever, to put the door on the car. We're going to get it somewhat in position, and we're going to go ahead and latch the front latch. It'll help you hold the door. Alright, now we've got it in this position, we're going to install the 1-inch grade 8 quarter 20 bolt with the limit strap. That goes into the L bracket that we installed when we were on the floor. Next we're going to install the back half coupler for the B-pillar mount with the stainless steel socket head cap screws installed or included in the package. Next step is to install the rear latch. Rear latch installs with the stainless steel button heads that were provided in the package with it. Welded tab has the nuts welded to it. We're going to lap over the top of it and install it. The next step is for final adjustment of your doors. What we want to do is we want to check around the plastic, make sure we're not having any rubbing, and we can adjust that out quite simply here at the B-pillar. It has some adjustment up and down, and also this top will rotate just a little bit to even your spacing out up top and bottom. After our upper clamp is all tightened up, we're going to go down here to the 7/16 bolt that's on the L bracket and our limit strap. We're going to tighten it up, put a little tension inward on the limit strap, keep it from twisting, and tighten it. Alright, now that we have all of our doors adjusted for alignment, latches are open and closing smoothly, we're going to go ahead and install our panels. Alright, what we want to do is install the two top ones in the middle. Just the nuts on finger tight. And the bottom one in the middle. Then just work your way around the rest of the panel. Again, just finger tight for now. Alright, now that we got the back panel in and hand tight, we're going to do the same thing with the front panel. There are a couple places on this panel that need a little extra attention. One of them is going to be right here, the tab that's in front of the latch. We're going to need to use a 7/16 open box wrench to hold our nut up in place while we're putting it through. Another one is we have a 3/4 button head, the only one in the package, that's going to go in this position with the limit strap that we installed earlier. All right. Other than that, we start in our two tab positions here and put them in finger tight. Here's the tab that I was talking about that might give you just a little bit of difficulty, not too much though. Just hold your nut with an open box wrench up again on the inside of the tab while your friend puts the screw in. That's it. Just like that. Just like that. And now we have the 3/4 screw button head that goes in this. The first tab on the back end. Our limit strap comes around and mounts up just like that. When you install the limit strap, it might seem like it's a little short. It's new, it's going to break in with time, and eventually it'll open up to a full width. Just give it a little nudge as you're applying. Alright, the next step is to tighten up our panels for good. We're going to start that in the same pattern that we started when we put them together hand tight. This one, and that one. It's a 1/4-20 with the nylon, so you don't have to kill it when you're tightening it. Just to where it bottoms out snug. Alright. And now that we have these, we're going to work our way from our tightened bolts forward, and we're going to kind of contour the panel as we go forward, working top, bottom until we come to the end. Kind of want to make sure that all the puckers remove between bolts as you're going through. Get a nice even panel fit. For the one up front, we got our 7/16 inch wrench. We're going to ratchet it from the outside. And the same thing, work our way up through the back. Now remember when you're tightening it, we're working from the center outwards. Squeezing the panel as we go to help ensure that your panel lays nice and flat on the frame. There we go, move to the back. Now the final step in your installation of your doors is to tighten up the back panel just like you did the front. We're going to start at the centers and work our way outwards, flattening the panel as we go to ensure it's nice and flat. Alright, that's it. Enjoy your new doors. Thank you.